Hello everyone. It's James again. And sorry for the time between uploads. I've been a bit busy. But I know you understand. And I thank you for that. With that said, I want to talk to you today about how we are all of us, are being targeted to become a narcissist. Or go down the path of the narcissist. And this all comes from the social engineering and trauma and pain that has been caused in our lives. You see, there are two things I think that cause narcissism. One is trauma and or abuse that happens to a young child that splits their mind. And as a protective measure, all feelings for who and what they are is walled off. And then as a result, they create their own persona. A persona of one that is never wrong and only their feelings and needs matter. Sadly, what happens is somewhere in this, they find hurting others brings them pleasure and temporarily soothes their pain. So they become addicted to this feeling like a junkie. And they do it over and over and over again, tricking and hurting people. The second reason is, they were born this way, and on top of that, they were also abused or had trauma done to them. Be that as it may, the social engineering that is done to both men and women is meant to split even our adult minds, and also the minds of children, and get us to enjoy the pain that others suffer. Think about how since social media has gotten so big, where people will upload videos of someone being harmed or beat up, and you hear people in the background of such videos laughing and cheering with enjoyment. And as I've mentioned several times, and ladies, when I mention this because I care about you. Those that control this world know. They know if they can get you to jump from man to man to man, it will become a very, very difficult for you to be able to bond to a good man once you find one. And somewhere in this bouncing around from man to man, just like the example I gave about the narcissist finding they get enjoyment from others' pain. Such a woman that might have had a chance to live a normal life, now she gets enjoyment from hurting man after man, and can't seem to bond or connect in a healthy way. This is also true for men. Yes. Here's what I mean. And men and women both. Listen to me very carefully. Look. There is real reasons why a man will tell the woman that he loves that he doesn't want her to hang out with her work friends after work. Especially if there are males involved. There's a reason why a man that loves his woman doesn't approve of his wife jumping on an airplane to go to a tropical island with just the girls. Or to a bar. Or nightclub. Or concert. And here's the reason. There's a lot of men that flat out enjoy spending time they shouldn't be spending with your wife or your girlfriend. This is just the flat out truth. And no matter if you as a woman say you can handle the situation and nothing bad will happen, the fact remains. Some men that are narcissists. And this is important, some that aren't a narcissist but they are going down that path. These men aren't going to approach you ladies in a straightforward manner. They will play mind games and trick you into a mind state where you will willfully be making these choices yourself. But you might not make such choices if you weren't in such an environment, if that makes sense. You see, there are a lot of men that started out once wide-eyed and very innocent, like many of you ladies. And let's say you have an example of a young guy. He's good looking, and meets a young lady he likes and is equally attractive. And they date and have a truly loving relationship. He thinks he has found the so-called one. He's planning marriage. And all of the above. When he hears about people, both men and women, getting cheated on, he thinks they are living in a different world than him. As what he's hearing doesn't compute. Nor does it make sense. Then out of the blue, 5 or 6 years into things, the love of his life cheats on him with her boss. Or some guy she met at the bar when he trusted her to go a few times. Or some guy in one of her college classes. And now his world is shattered. Then sometime after, he finds himself in the dating pool again. And he finds himself interestingly enough in a situation where a married or attached woman is flirting with him. And on one side, he knows it's wrong. And on the other side there's something that makes him feel powerful and dominant. And enjoying the fact that he's taking another man's woman. Now just 5 years earlier, this young man would never think this way. This type of thinking was never in his frame of thought. Now he's in a situation where he's getting pleasure from hurting another person the same way he was once hurt. And that's what we call narcissistic abuse. Now this person might not be a full narcissist. And there are plenty of women like this too. But they are adopting the traits of the narcissist because of a trauma and pain that happened in the course of their life. More than likely at the hands of someone they loved deeply. And they fully trusted. And there are women out there too, that might have been cheated on the same way. And to find pleasure in taking a woman's husband or boyfriend from them. And though this isn't a debate about who's more of a narcissist, men or women, as I think they share equally in this. But there are differences. And these differences are a result of the world we live in and the targeted social engineering. As men get hit with different things than women get hit with. But with all this being said, this chaos is the new normal. And here's the funny thing. Or not so funny thing rather. And it will tell you we are entering a world full of narcissism. If you don't want to live this way, and just go with the flow, so to speak, there is something somehow wrong with you. I'm going to tell you. If a man tells his male friends, he doesn't think it's a good idea for one of their group members to hook up so to speak with this or that woman because she has a boyfriend, or a husband, all of the men in this group will laugh at him and say he's too much of a nice guy. And that there's something wrong with him. And just the same, if a woman doesn't want to run to the nightclub with her so-called girlfriends, or entertain the idea of being with another man, and if she says, no, this is something I'm not interested in, her so-called friends will call her a liar, and make fun of her, and say she's not experienced enough. And once she gets experienced she will change her tune. The world we are living in is just trying to reduce us down to mere animals. Animals that run amok with no rhyme or reason. As I've mentioned before, Anton LaVey, the leader of the Church of Satan, he said when he was living, that the Church of Satan is in all forms of life. Hollywood. You name it. They are there. And he said, that before they are done, everyone will have some sort of perversion or deviance. And you know what? No one is perfect. No one. Not one of us. But take a look around. If you even attempt to speak up and say, you know that might not be a good idea. Because any of us could be tempted to do such a thing. But at least speaking up hoping this person might make the right choice. The person speaking up is mocked. And laughed at. And said to be too nice. And children grow up in the middle of all of this. And before you know it, with each generation there is less and less humanity. Less and less caring. Less and less examples of right. Because we all need them. Our daily bread. I don't know what your beliefs are. And you don't offend me if you don't have any. But there's a reason why believers talk about our daily bread. The scriptures are filled with one example after the next on how we are to live our lives and stay out of trouble. And those that control our society knew this. And they used such examples in our daily life over and over again. From music to movies. And so on. Though people were still far from perfect. The elites didn't want us to be mere animals running the streets acting like fools. But now they do. Now they want us gone and us to willingly destroy ourselves. And how do they do that? By pushing on us bad examples. One right after another. To get those that aren't narcissists to follow the narcissist's ways. Here's something to think about. And yes, this is coming from a male point of view. But we often hear that there are no good men. And true. There are legit narcissist men out there. Ones that were either created in childhood by their parents, or those that were born along with being made that way as a child. But again, there's something else. And this something else was done for a reason. Have you heard about men being too nice? No, I'm not talking about the creep weird guy that is weirdly nice and the woman doesn't even like him. I'm talking about a man that already has someone in his life, and is kind and good to her. He took his time. He courted her. He didn't try anything physical with her until he knew her well. He showed her love and kindness. And then 4 years later, this woman he has shown no signs she would ever cheat. Cheats on him with a man that treats her like garbage. A complete jerk. And someone that has 3 other girlfriends that she knows about. And when she tells her boyfriend why she cheated, she says, "He's too nice." Ladies, though narcissism is the same between men and women, there are some things that are for the most part unique amongst each other. And this is one of those things. So what happens to this guy? He learns how to be bad because everyone he deals with after that doesn't want anything to do with him. Or again leaves him for a jerk. So what happens? He learns to become a jerk. Or in this case a narcissist. But why is this the case? Because our society places importance on a woman dating and finding these types of men appealing. Yes. Women have oftentimes found dangerous men appealing. The same way the narcissist makes our brains release the chemicals that make us addicted to this person. But in times past there were elder women warning younger women against getting involved with such a bad man. However, a hard-working and responsible man, a man with a handsome smile, and kindness and decency were characteristics and traits that were taught and instilled in women to desire. Now, women are taught to desire a jerk, and someone that will use them and not care. So as a result of man after man getting abused by such a system, they learn and teach themselves with the help of social engineering to become like a narcissist. Now, here's my message to you men. And I heard this on a MGTOW video of a guy from Louisiana. I can't think of his name offhand. If you know it, put it in the comments. But he said how he felt like he was becoming something that wasn't him. And he just couldn't do it. He liked being kind and decent. Yet he was being told, if he wanted to be successful with a woman or women, he would have to not be kind and decent. And he just said, forget it. I can't do this anymore. So I ask the men out there, don't stop being who you are. And don't let our society change you into a narcissist. Just be careful and guard your heart. Don't give your heart to anyone. And if you meet someone you like, still guard your heart and your wallet as well. And ladies, the reason why I talk about all I talk about with you ladies, is the fact that the social engineers know. They know the way to us men, and destroying society is to destroy you. Here's a nugget of truth you might not be aware of. A good portion of Western women have engaged in some form or another in selling themselves. Because life is so expensive and so are their school debts. And men and women couples working together like we used to is uncommon. The social engineers are doing their best to degrade the woman to where she can't connect anymore to any man, and to where she doesn't even have feeling for her own children. Which sounds kind of like a narcissist to me. And the men, they are taking good-natured men and turning them into men that do nothing but hurt woman after woman, or break up home after home because they are conquering married or attached women, making it so another man has to end up in family court and lose his woman and child. And to where this man no longer has any feeling because he feels no one has feelings for him. Which again, sounds like a narcissist. And why is this all happening? The beast. The beast wants soldiers. And those to fight for him and his world. And against our Savior and our King, Yahshua the Christ. Demons need bodies. And the best way to make one empty is through trauma. and abuse, and turning someone into a narcissist. And our society is turning out one narcissist after the next. So what's my goal? To snap you out of your spell. You see, you're not a narcissist. You're just confused. The real narcissist is someone that doesn't feel conflict and is in a fixed state and can't change. If you feel conflict or even for a brief moment you feel what you are about ready to do is wrong, then you're not a narcissist. Ladies, stop leaving nice men. If he's boring, but you love him, and he's good to you, find something that you can do together that is fun. And understand the high you feel from a jerk man is like doing drugs. And you need to distance yourself from such temptations. Start celebrating the masculine, strong, yet decent kind man. When your co-workers or so-called friends want you to do something against the man you love, get away from them no matter what you have to say to them. Just get away. And you men, just stop. Just stop for a moment. Yes. Maybe you were a bit too giving. As many women here on my channel were a bit too giving. But you don't have to stop being kind. Just temper it with discernment. Not everyone is deserving of your kindness or your time for that matter. And if you are kind and loving to a woman, and you are trying to direct your home in a certain way, and the woman in your life is rebelling in the way of the narcissist or the Jezebel, don't fight for her. Don't argue with her. Just let her go and leave it all in the Most High's hands. And the same goes for you decent women here on my channel. Don't let our society and others' actions change who you are. Unless it's you exploring self-betterment. Just don't let it bring you down the dark path. Well, that's all I have for now. I thank all of you for your support. And I do have a way you can support me further, as many of you have asked for. And I'm still learning how to use it. So bear with me. And that's my Patreon. You will find a link below. Again, if you can't donate, no worries. Your viewing and comments and self-betterment is good enough. But if you choose to donate, I thank you from the bottom of my cartoon heart. With that said, for those of you who have subscribed, thank you. If you haven't done so, please do so. And click the little bell to know when I've uploaded a new video. With that said, I hope everyone had a blessed day. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.